So, what if the heroine you've been waiting for isn't a superhero in the movies? What if it's you? Most of us were never taught how to trust ourselves. We were told who to be, how to act, what was acceptable. We learned to play small, to defer, to seek permission. At least I was. I think perhaps women of a certain age might fall under this a bit more than younger people. But I don't know. If you're a younger person, let me know. So, this conditioning runs deep and it can disconnect you from the power that's always been yours. So if you've been feeling unsure or out of step with yourself lately, it doesn't mean something's necessarily wrong. It could mean you're waking up to what no longer works for you. And how do you find your way back to yourself? It's not about trying harder. Trust me, I went down that route and I still have issues with it. It's not about trying harder. It's about living differently in your body, in your language, and in how you show up. Hi, and welcome to Hearth Talks. I'm Diane Hatz, and this is where we talk about the real work of change, the kind that starts from the inside out. Today, we're going to talk about embodiment, not in a trendy wellness way, but in a grounded, personal way where your breath, your stance, your voice all become ways of remembering your own strength. Research from Ohio State University indicates that our posture can influence our self-perception. In a 2009 study, participants who sat upright were more likely to believe the positive traits they wrote about themselves compared to those who slouched. This suggests that maintaining an upright posture can reinforce our confidence in our own thoughts. And words matter too. The language you use with yourself and others shapes how you see your role in the world. When you speak from strength, even quietly, you begin to build trust with yourself. That's how the rewiring begins. So if you're in a place where you feel disconnected, this episode is for you, not because something's wrong, but because something in you is ready to come back. From the time you were young, from the time, not just you, from the time we were all young, women are told in all kinds of ways to be smaller or to be softer. We're told not to be too loud or too confident and not to rise above the others around us. And I fell into that trap, and it has basically eaten me alive until the last couple years. Those messages don't just live in our minds. They settle into our nervous system and into how we breathe, how we move, and even how we speak. This isn't a character flaw. It's conditioning. So the good news, the conditioning can be unlearned one choice, one breath, and one truth at a time. Embodying your inner heroine, I know I can't say that. I'm just going to say heroine, and I'm sorry if it's heroine. Embodying your inner heroine. No, it's heroine. Do you ever say a word so many times that it loses its meaning? I'm getting there. So let's say this: embodying your inner badass doesn't mean putting ourselves in dangerous situations and pretending to be fearless. It means remembering that fear and power can exist at the same time. The badass woman isn't perfect. No one is perfect. So you won't have all the answers, but you can lead with presence and act with clarity. You're resilient and you learn to stand in your power. This is something I am working so hard on. And look, I don't want to say I crumble, but I'll curl up at times, but I look at it as like a flower unfolding, and or like a butterfly coming out of a cocoon. There gets a point, man, where it's just too painful to stay in that cocoon. And I hope you are where I'm at and you just are like, I gotta break out of the shell and just find and become my inner badass self. So that version of you, it's there. So you don't need to invent her. You just need to find her voice and let her speak. Here are 5 simple ways to reconnect with your inner heroine, the one who already knows who she is. First is a physical and is a posture. First is physical and is a posture reset. Stand up. Feel your feet firmly on the ground. Let your shoulders relax, down and back. Lift your chest and breathe deep. Stay like this for 2 minutes. This is not posing. This is you remembering. Next is claiming language. Catch the phrases you use to downplay yourself. I hope I can. I'm trying to. And shift them to, I choose to. I'm learning to. Let your language reflect the strength you're stepping into. I still have to watch myself with this. When I moved to New Mexico and I was setting up my apartment, and I'm sorry, I'm in my apartment right now, and a massive hailstorm has just started. So if you hear like banging, like there was just a huge boulder of hail that hit the window. That's what that noise is. I don't know if I can edit it out when I go through the script. But anyway, when I moved to New Mexico, I'm not the handiest person. So I was trying to hang curtain rods. And I actually said, how can you be so stupid, Diane? Like I literally out loud was yelling at myself. I was shocked to hear myself speak that way. So if you have a tendency to scold yourself, don't yell at yourself for yelling at yourself, which is what I did. But that doesn't work. That never works. Just acknowledge what you said and get curious. Go inside and ask yourself where that came from. Whose voice is that? Is that your voice? Is that somebody who raised your voice, a teacher's voice? Like, is it conditioning? Were you told you were stupid when you were younger? I think it's way more common than people realize to have someone in your life call you stupid. Like, how could you be so stupid? I know I've heard that. We often keep the voices of people who treated us badly inside, and we repeat their words over and over again to ourselves. So, in essence, we're the ones who are keeping ourselves down. Like, we can't do anything when you're a child, but you become conditioned, and as an adult, you're replaying those tapes over and over. So, it's not about the other person anymore. It's about you going inside and changing your patterning. So if this is you, be curious about the voice. Talk to it. Separate it from yourself. See if it's a younger version of you. Soothe it. I'm not qualified to talk in depth about this, but internal family systems work is great at bringing to light these kinds of voices and letting them go. I believe it's time to stop putting ourselves down and start working on lifting ourselves up with encouragement and self-support. Visualization can be helpful. Close your eyes and picture yourself as strong, clear, and grounded. Where are you? What are you doing? Jot it down in your journal. Keep going back to that version of you and let it lead your way. I believe we create our own reality, so visualizing yourself as the superhero that you are will help you become the strong, powerful woman you're meant to be. In addition, I don't have the stats on me, but if you visualize you're doing something, I did this junior high. I took typing because there were still manual typewriters back then, but I would lay in bed at night and I would go through A, and I learned like that's A, I would actually just visualize it in my head. And I think you're like 20%. There's a percentage more that you will learn faster, or even like athletes will visualize hitting a ball or catching a ball, and you become that much more capable of doing it. The visualization really does help. So just fantasize, and make up what you want. Like go to the Met Gala, sit at the table with Beyonce, or for me, it's Bruce Springsteen. Just just step into who you really are in any way that feels good to you, and make sure it feels good. This is not about beating yourself up or, trying to do something you can't. It's about having fun and bringing joy and creativity back to your life. So movement is also extremely helpful. You can stretch your arms up to the clouds. You can go for a walk and take in everything around you, or dance with abandon to your favorite music. I would suggest that when you do this type of movement, don't put a podcast on. Don't be thinking about your to-do list. Like if you go for a walk, go for a walk. If you're sitting on the porch, take time to watch the birds or the clouds. Like just sit with yourself. Or well, I shouldn't say sit because you're moving. Okay, sorry, the porch was probably a wrong thing. But if you're dancing with abandon, get into the music. Don't be thinking about what you're going to make for dinner. So shaking out your arms and legs, like shaking them out, it's a great way to relieve stress. It's if you get into a lot of healing therapies like Dr. Peter Levine, I mean, this is actually like animals will shake if they go through some type of trauma. If you shake your hands and your legs and your whole body, you can shake out your anger, you can shake out your stress. It's really, really helpful. Movement also brings yourself back into your body, and that's where your power lives. So you can also try mirror work. Every morning when you brush your teeth, look at yourself in the mirror, like really look at yourself deep in your eyes. When is the last time you've done that? Say something encouraging out loud, like, I am strong, I am worthy, I am beautiful. Or how about, I am the powerful, badass woman I've always wanted to be. Another thing you can do is every day, more than once if you can, look deep in your eyes in the mirror and tell yourself that you love you. Just say, I love you. And you can say it once, you can say it 100 times, but the important thing is to really look into your eyes and to really connect with yourselves. Give yourself the support and the love you might not be getting from other people, or you might never have gotten from other people. It is a very powerful practice. If you'd like something to reflect or to journal on, what helps you feel like the heroine, the superhero? Oh, I don't want to redo this video. I should have said superhero. So what helps you feel like the superhero of your own story? If you want, also share your answers in the comments. So thank you for being here today. And please don't forget to subscribe. And remember, embodying your power isn't about being perfect. It's about having presence. It's about showing up again and again as you really are and just standing there in who you are. The world will love you for it. Be well. Thank you.